Okay, I think we are live. All right. It seems we are live. Uh, there was a little technical difficulty on the stream I made because I scheduled the stream last night and I went on it. I'm having a hard time uploading it from there. So I sent a message in the other stream that this is the right stream to go on. Hopefully people can go on it. We will start in a second. Okay, so we got yeah. So let's see. All right, I'm on the channel right now. I put in right version so people know it's the right one. It's going on, like you can check it out right now. I don't know if we have anybody on yet. I am just going to I will just do some social media for it to let people know it's the right link. I gotta do that. So yeah. Hold on a second. This will take. I am very sorry for the delay, but we will get started. Okay, we got 2 people watching so far. All right, sounds good. I will just let people know. I know I said that already. I mean, come on, get it together, Tom. All right. Okay. You guys smile for my little Instagram thing. Of course, in the Instagram post, I don't look like I'm looking at the camera, but hey. All right, we got 5 people on. All right, this is awesome. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. If you want to comment, you can. We're going to try to get a little party in. I mean, hey, a little pre-Super Bowl party. Yeah, so let's get that in. So, all right, so just put in the comments, talk among yourselves. Okay, all right. We got cheese 6011. Okay, I think I know who that is. But good weather we're having. Yeah, of course, it's snow. And I mean, I get it because it's probably a SpongeBob reference, but yes. Wonderful weather we're having today on this snow day already. It's crazy that we're having this. I haven't actually been out at all this week because of the freaking snow. But hey, it's okay. It's all right. It's all good. So today is Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. Everybody. I think I guess is excited for this. I think everybody wants a little joy because we can get any joy we can get at the moment with everything going on with COVID. It's great that we can get some little maybe joy about this. I believe the weekend. I think he's performing. I'm not that much of a Super Bowl guy. I used to be big into Super Bowl when I was a kid. Not a lot of my friends know this, but when I was a kid, I used to love a lot of sports like baseball and football. I'm not really a fan of that stuff anymore. It doesn't really interest me. But yeah. Oh, who you got winning? Okay, Oh, hey, Peter. Yeah, I thought that was your channel. Okay. Who you got winning the bowl? I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be, even though I'm not really a Tom Brady fan, it'll probably be the Buccaneers because, Tom Brady is, even if you love him or hate him, he's still a great quarterback. So, hey. I got the Islanders. Yeah, that's hockey, man. I don't, yeah. Yeah. That would be cool to have a football team as the Islanders. I mean, I know we have like with the hockey, like the Rangers, we have a baseball team, the Rangers in Texas. But yeah, no, yeah, no. So all right, we got that. Yeah, and like lately, just with everything going on, like with COVID, it has felt a little weird, But since this is my first video in 2021, I wanted to do something, because definitely wanted to post. Of course, because it's been a while since I posted. The last time I posted, I think, was back in like June, I think. Yeah, no, so it's been a while, honestly. And, I wanted to do something again, I have a few video ideas that I want to put up. I'm not, promising anything yet because I've made, a decision with myself that I will no longer on YouTube ever make update videos, because when I first started this channel, I like was making update videos like a lot. Like I was when I was a senior in high school, I was like making update videos of videos that I did, and then it put a lot of pressure on. Well, not so much, but I put the pressure on myself because like I wanted to get these videos out, and sometimes some of the updates of stuff of projects I said that were coming never did, and that was on my bad. So I just don't want to promise anything, especially if I am not if I just have the idea of it and not start working on it yet, because a lot can change, like with life and everything. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. So I just think don't promise anything until you know like for sure what's going on and you have a full idea. So no. So that's pretty much that. Yeah. So yeah, that hey. Gotta look good, had to spike up a little bit. Hopefully, does anybody like the spiking up of the hair? Anybody think that's good? I think that's good. Yeah. Next, yeah. So as you see here, I got my posters. My Elvis poster, my Beatles, Star Wars. You're not gonna be able to see this, but I got my Game of Thrones behind me because I'm a Game of Thrones fan. Got some posters in the back that's kind of hard to show, but like I've got a Sopranos poster, great freaking show. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's so sweet. You got I got Stranger Things right there. I got Stranger Things. You can't really see that, and I also got I got a few other I got the Beatles Sgt. Pepper's poster, which was given to a friend of mine. And then I've got a poster of the band The Police, because I also am a huge fan of The Police and like that. So, yeah, that's this is my room and / office workspace. Yeah. This is where I do, like my thing, if I do, like for instance, so classes started for me again for the new semester. If in case you don't know, I'm at SUNY Oswego. I'm a junior there, and I'm a broadcast communications major, but I'm now a creative writing minor. So I'm taking some good classes. Considering that I'm not there in person, it was hard to pick like what classes I was able to do. So I kind of had like a limited option. So I had to go to like whatchamacallit. So I did classes mainly in my minor, like 2 classes that were definitely for the minor, which were like intro to screenwriting and intro to nonfiction. And then I had this English class that was required from the minor as well. It's an English literature class, which is really good. So a lot of I'm doing a lot of writing classes this year, which is really great because I love doing that type of stuff. And my other class is for my major, which is mass media and the law, all that stuff. You can't go wrong with learning about the law. We never can go wrong with that. Yeah. No. So but yeah, I mean so this was my first week and of the semester, and it's funny because technically like regularly we would be back like the previous week before that, but because with everything with COVID, they wanted because there are still people that are dormant there, they wanted to get all those people to come in early so they can get tested before their classes. And so we're not gonna have a spring break, which is gonna kind of suck, but it shouldn't be that bad, honestly. I'm not like too worried. I mean, I do feel like there'll probably be those stressful days where I'll probably just want to put my head against a wall or pull out some hair, but hey, I don't think that's just me. But yeah, that's pretty much it with that. I mean, COVID wise, everything's been okay. I mean, thank God none of us in our family has had it. How's all of your experiences with COVID or quarantine? I mean, what are your stories of how you've been keeping safe, or what have you been doing in your apartment, home, or wherever you live in? And all that. So just you can put those questions there. I mean, I've been home. Okay, whole family. Oh damn. Oh wow. That sucks. I'm sorry, man. Hopefully everybody's better. So wait, including you? You had it too? And do I miss Suffolk? Yeah, no, I miss Suffolk. I mean, Suffolk is where I definitely made Suffolk a home, and I think that's a thing that I would like to address with people too, is being in a community college. Some people call it like 13th grade. Don't ever say that, because it's not. You are getting experience, especially with Suffolk. It was definitely had a lot of opportunities. I mean, we had like, if you were into government, we had a student government program that was really efficient, and we also have campus activities board, and I got involved through my first year as being an orientation leader, and that was like one of the best opportunities I had. I got to go to a retreat in Shelter Island, and it was so fun. It felt like being a kid again in camp, going to the beach, playing soccer, all that stuff. So it was really no, it was really fun, and the orientation leader stuff was definitely something that was a great part. And I met some great people along the way who are still close friends. And yeah, no, so it really, I think, depends on like what you make of it and what you put out there. And also in the my last year there, I got a job working there as a student worker, which would be I was I was guarding like these info booths, so working at a front desk, working in the gaming room, which I gotta say had some funny stories because some of the people in there were characters and definitely got wild, and it definitely got crazy in there. I do miss that, even though at the time I was working there, I probably wouldn't say I would miss it, but yeah, it was really kind of fun to do that. So it kind of sucks that that's gone. And being at Oswego now, like it's hard to really say that I'm adjusted to it because considering I'm online, even though I did go there in like actually last semester, I did dorm there for about 5 weeks, but the COVID cases were so bad, and it was like my roommate, like he left, like he was there for like a day. He moved his stuff in, but he didn't stay because he was staying with I think his family for the weekend because he had like some kind of like a golf tournament, I think. And then he came back, and then and slept one night in the room, and then day of the classes he went in and found out his classes were going to be online, so he left because he felt like there was no reason staying there, which I get that, and all that. So yeah, no, and it was hard. So, and that's what I was starting to realize too, because all my classes were online, and there wasn't that much point. A lot of stuff there wasn't. A lot of people were kind of, leaving too. There wasn't a lot of places open. All right, let's see the comments. Does Suffolk have a gaming team? I'm looking to go pro. Oh, well, Peter, yeah, actually, they don't have. Yeah, they have a gaming club. So in there, yeah, at Suffolk, because there's 3 different campuses. In the Ammerman campus, there was the gaming room that was in the basement, and that was a place where you could go to hang and all that stuff, and play games. Everybody could bring their consoles in there. It wasn't really called a team, but it was a gaming club where there was like so there was like I don't know what they did in the club technically, but yeah, no, it was definitely yeah, I mean that was definitely around. I don't know how it's different now, considering I'm not at Suffolk, and I know a lot has changed with COVID. Considering like what my boss told me, that a lot has changed, and the gaming room is probably not there now because not a lot of people are doing classes in person at the moment. So hopefully that won't be the case next year. So yeah, that's basically yeah. So I never looked better in a mask. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I mean, like the masks are, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, like I know, like a lot of the people, like are sometimes like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask. It like it takes away my rights, in this country. I mean, come on, that's not the case. Like there's a lively, deadly pandemic coming around here. Okay, listen, none of us like wearing these masks, but if it's saving lives, then like why can't you just suck it up for the moment and do that? And I mean, so yeah, so it's just like I don't know. I mean, like from mostly people I see, I mean, most people wear masks and all that stuff, and respect the the rules that government is given. Like people listen to Fauci and all that stuff of that. And I think people are trying to be safe. And I think the good news lately with the virus, at least with some good news that we can get, is of the vaccine. That we have 3 types of vaccines: the Pfizer, the Derman, and the Johnson and Johnson. So that's good. And I mean, I know the wait list is so long at the moment. Yeah, it's been crazy. I know to get it, and I'll probably not get it in a few months. I mean, yeah, I'll probably have to get it in a few months. The first time, yeah, because like when it first came out, I was a little worried about getting it because like I was so excited for it when it came out because I'm like, I think this is the case because I know some people don't always feel a little like not the best when it comes to vaccines. And I get that. But, like I think everybody's treating this a lot different. Like, I mean, never in a million years would I thought I'd be so excited for like a vaccine to come out. But yeah, no, I think it's changed in a lot of people's minds because everybody just wants to get this over with. And the reports have been very positive with the vaccine. So I think a lot of people will get it. And I think it's going to be effective. And I think it should, honestly, in colleges. Like, if you want to go up there, you should at least be able, it should be mandatory that you have the vaccine before you go up, I think. to just like lower the chances of any possible cases, which hopefully I think everybody is very optimistic that by, the summer 2021, this might be taken care of more. I mean, it's possible we'll still wear masks for the whole year, and maybe in the half of 2022, maybe 2022, I'll say maybe it's the last time we don't have to wear masks anymore. I'm hoping like it's honestly in this year, but who knows? Hey, Kirsten. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I know who it is. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. All right, awesome. Okay. No, so yeah. But no, I mean it's been crazy, and I think we just got to support our first responders and healthcare workers out there who are risking their lives helping people with this deadly disease, and I mean I mean it's terrible because I remember I saw I was watching last week. They had a 60 Minutes story on all the family members that people in their family that that died because of COVID. There was a couple that was going to get married this year. The wife, she had like everything planned for the wedding. She was calling catering and all that stuff, and then he died, and then she had to cancel that and had to start planning his funeral, which it's and there was a kid who was an orphan, and I mean who's an orphan now, and because he lost his father a few years ago when he only had his mother and stuff like that, and that was and she died because of COVID. And I mean, no, the stories were just heartbreaking because, it's like, and, what I think really got to me at the end of that interview was that, like, the woman said, like, a lot of people want to get past this, and it's like, and are excited of when and just want to be like, when is this over? But some people, it will never be over for them. There is no normal anymore, and that's tough to think about because in a sense, I mean, I do think we can get back to a sense of reality, but I think it's not going to be the same as it was. I think people will be a little bit more cautious now when people are sick now, which I think is a good thing because I think germs do spread fast. I mean, I think we do know that always wash your hands. I don't think we need people tell us to wash our hands because I think that's the most important thing that we should do. We should wash our hands before we eat or after we use the bathroom, of course. So that shouldn't be that much of a problem for people. But I guess maybe in some ways it is. I don't know. But yeah, no. I mean, I do think though that like we will get past this, but I do think that there is. I mean, I don't think there's also a thing as normal because it's like. It's hard to say like what normal actually is, I guess, in some ways. And I mean, if people are hoping that, this will be over completely and just like, forget it, then it could be erased in our memories, like it won't. And I mean, listen, in some ways I'd love to like, in the beginning I was like thinking, okay, maybe this will last for 2 months. Not a lot of people remember it, but unfortunately this is something that we do have to remember. So it never happens again. I mean, that's why, people teach history. So it doesn't repeat itself. And, we got to make sure because, I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. My parents haven't either. Of course, this has been the biggest, outbreaks in 100 years with the Spanish flu in 1918. So yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, I pray to all the people who've had it or have lost somebody for it or, are recovering now. I hope everybody's doing well and going by with this. And we'll get through this together. Hey, yeah, no. Okay, so we got 6 people watching, 3 likes for this. This is really cool. So if anybody want to ask me anything, just we'll talk about, like I said, we'll talk about the snow. I think we talked a little bit about the Super Bowl. That's why I did the live stream actually early today because I normally like when I do live streams, I like to do them late at night, but because I know a lot of people probably are going to want to watch the Super Bowl. So yeah, and no way I probably would like. I mean, that'd be great if I could compete with the Super Bowl and get more people to watch me, but there's no way. No, everybody would want to watch the Super Bowl. Nobody's going to watch me. I'd be surprised if more people watch me than the Super Bowl. Like, because like, yeah, I think probably half of the people I know would be surprised because it's me, doing this, and hey, like, why would somebody watch me? And nobody would watch me. I mean, that's the joke, and it's not that good of a joke. And all right, I'll move on. Okay. All right. Yeah, no. So anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much with that. Shows lately, I guess, ever since honestly, like my last semester, it was basically just one of the worst semesters I had, honestly. So this break I really didn't like basically just decompress and like tried to just like watch some television. I did running. I worked out as much as I could of running. Okay. Do you play any video games or anything? How do you pass time in quarantine? No, I don't play video games. I never was really that much of a gamer, really. Like, I never really liked it that much. I mean, of course, when I was little, I did play like DS, like Mario games and stuff like that, but not like the GTA or like Outlast. Even though I know some of those games and they have like cool storylines, I think, but I've just never really like played them. I mean, I've seen like bits of videos of them, and even like Five Nights at Freddy's when it was like big, like 7 years ago. But no, not so much like really like the way I pass time with quarantine is like basically I just like watch some shows on like Netflix, HBO Max, listen to music. I mean, this quarantine I basically got completely into The Sopranos, and like I've been a Godfather fan for like ever since in the beginning of high school. But like The Sopranos, like oh my god, I mean that was like a story that was just so like intense and so like you wanted to be there for, like you felt so involved in it. And like normally those shows I feel like don't come as much, like because I had like when I watched Game of Thrones, I loved it just as much. Happened with a few other shows, but like this was definitely one of those shows that were just like so intense. You just felt so involved and you just loved what was going on. I watched it twice because the first time there was a lot of stuff I missed and didn't get, so watching it a second time helped me refresh my memory and understand the story a little bit better. And even now, like when I watch clips on YouTube, there's certain stuff I don't forget, like certain character qualities I forget. Like for instance, like there's that guy who's known to repeat stuff, and like I didn't really even notice that until like after I finished it a second time or was at the end of finishing it. Because like when you watch like Sopranos clips on YouTube, people say that all the time. Like you just like keep watching more, and the comments on Sopranos, you like if you are a fan of the show, there's so much like comedic timing that is just great. And the funniest thing is like because it is like a dark show and it's a mafia show, it is definitely effed up. Like there are definitely scenes that are just like messed up, but like for some reason it's like so comedic in some ways. And like I say, it's probably the funniest show that's not a comedy. Like like that's the funniest thing about it. It's not labeled as a comedy, yet there is so much like comedic characters in it. Like I mean, Tony, of course, is definitely comedic, but everybody basically in the mob family, like Christopher, Paulie, Silvio. I mean, even Bobby and Junior. I mean, hell, I mean Junior probably has like the best like comedic gold out of all of them. And of course, the villains too, like Phil Leotardo, who if was played by Frank Vincent, also played Billy Bats in Goodfellas. So he was already like kind of had that scene that everybody remembered that kind of laugh at. And then of course the villain Richie Aprile, played by David Proval, who was very it was very funny. And Joe Pantaleone playing Ralph. Yeah, like just most of those characters were really just like no, like basically everybody in the mob was basically very funny. I mean, even AJ, Tony's son, had some comedic stuff. But yeah, no, it's a definitely good show, and I definitely recommend it to people through this time. Okay. Does Zach still have a gaming channel? I haven't seen post in a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I heard something that he wants to go back to YouTube, but I don't know if he's doing gaming. I mean, I know he used to do gaming for a little bit. I remember like last year I did a gaming video with him where we played Spider-Man for it. Like I think it was like because I hanged with him on New Year's Day last year. And yeah, it was like yeah, so yeah, I was on some gaming videos of his, but yeah, I know he used to do some of that stuff a lot. But now yeah, I don't know. Okay. This is the new normal. Yeah, no, unfortunately, yeah, it is like the new normal, and yeah, COVID sucks. I mean, I guess that, yeah, that's totally right. But yeah, no, I mean, and another thing too, because on this channel, I've been wanting to do more, because I've been doing like last year, I posted a lot of content about music, which I want to continue like further on because, I gotta say, when I started this channel about 5 years ago, and I had a channel, the previous year that I just deleted because it just didn't seem like I thought it'd be good to start fresh anyway. I had like it took me a while to realize like what I wanted to do on YouTube. Like I wanted to make videos, but like it was hard to figure out like what like my like routine would be, or like what like my like what like my regular content would be. So it took me a while to like figure it out because I was like I thought I was doing comedy stuff for a while, but it was hard too like with certain stuff because like when I was like in high school, I didn't have like the equipment I have now. Like, because in like from 10th grade to 11th grade, like 11th grade is when I got like my camera, and I didn't have a laptop and all that stuff. And I let some of like the big equipment hold me back to not making videos, which I shouldn't have when I could have like done stuff with my phone probably. So I probably could have done more than I didn't, and that's like my bad because I just like feel like there was just some because I just didn't feel like it was gonna come out well, and like I started like no like I did get to the point like in like junior like the end of junior year to senior year just mad that I didn't have this like equipment and all that stuff, and it did come to me like like it's funny like like because like sometimes your parents can be helpful when it comes to these hobbies, and my mom said like you can make like stuff just on your people make great stuff and just on their phone, and I remember that even with a friend of mine because we had to do a film for our film class. And it was a really like funny like horror film that we did, and we filmed the rest of it on our phone. And like when I watch it, I keep forgetting that was filmed on the phone. Half of it was filmed on the phone, and like no, so you really can do that good stuff with it. My first videos I was doing on the phone for a while until I really had a place to put my video. Like I didn't really able to do any videos from my camera, even though I had it already for like about a year and a half already before like because I got my Mac in like summer of 2017 when I moved to when I went to Suffolk. Like when I started Suffolk. So yeah, but like so what I realized is like this year and basically like last year and kind of almost about a year and a half ago, I realized that like what am I doing? I'm like what I should have been doing all this time is talking about music, just doing music commentary because that's like one of my main passions is music. I've always been a fan of music, and like it's always been like when people were always into gaming and all that stuff, I was the one that was just like listening to music and just like being like like finding like history of it. I was really getting into the roots of rock and roll, and that was something I really loved doing. And I thought like, gee, I mean, that's what I should be doing, and that's what I should have been doing all this time. So I started doing that more. I mean, the first like real video I did like talking about music. I mean, I did one like early on where I did a video going around my high school asking people who do they prefer, the Beatles or Rolling Stones. I mean, looking back at it, it was not great quality, but it is what it was. It is what it is, and but like my first like video where I really talked about music was when I got a chance to see Elton John live at Nassau Coliseum with my friend Tony, and it was a really great experience seeing that show. And because I got into Elton John in like my senior year of high school. I mean, I was always into Elton John, like his music and stuff like that, but I didn't really become like an Elton John like fan until like 12th grade, and I didn't even really know I was a fan until I'm like a year later. I'm like, oh god, I guess I really am a fan, but I'm like really into his music, and because like there's definitely like there's definitely like not that many artists that I have like a huge like because the biggest artists probably that I'm really into are either the Beatles, Elvis, Elton John, Billy Joel, The Police, and I guess I'll say Buddy Holly as well. Definitely. And I mean, of course, I have other great artists as well that I like, But so I realized I wanted to start doing that more. So after I did so I did a review of Elton John's concert and just talking about my love for his music there and all that, and and I was proud of it. And then I did another video about music that was for when I was at Suffolk. I was doing this student internship program there where there was this show we were doing called there was this like television show that we were doing called Suffolk Hacked, but there was a lot of problems because there wasn't that many people on it. So I had to post it on my channel, which is good because which I'm glad about that I was able to do it on my channel. And it was basically just talking about like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame of 2019 that the people got in, like Stevie Nicks got in, that's a solo artist, so all that. And then I started about like in the beginning of 2020 is when I posted like my first like real music commentary stuff, and that was on at the moment because I was thinking like like maybe it'd be cool to like mention an artist that not a lot of people would think about as much. So I thought I'd maybe go to somebody like who's sort of like independent in the music industry more of, and that was Drake Bell. And of course, a lot of us as children would know him in Drake and Josh as Drake, of course. But like I thought that like because his music I don't think ever really got so much commercial as like other stars on like those TV shows. Like, well, I mean, of course, like Ariana Grande now is like the biggest pop star in the world. And I mean, even people on Disney, of course, like Selena Gomez had I think sort of a successful music career. Ariana, I'm not Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, so all that stuff. So yeah, no, like I thought that like talking about Drake Bell's music because it was a very interesting type of quality he had too because he didn't go into the main pop stream stuff, which I liked, because he went into his roots of what he was into, like for instance, like like the original rock, like because he talked about how he's a fan of the Beatles, Elvis, and Buddy Holly, and all that. And his first album was very more of like the modern type, but it was definitely a rock album. I felt like Telegraph. I talked about how I thought like Telegraph out of all his three albums were like really great. What's funny is because he only had three albums at the time when I reviewed it, but apparently like 2 months later he came out with an album that I had no idea, and I don't think it gave a lot. There was a lot of advertising for it like before because it was an album that he did like it was like songs he did like 10 years before that he never like really put together. It's called The Lost Album, and he did it in like his album. The album style was kind of more of like definitely had that like 60s kind of vibe album cover, which yeah, so he's very nostalgic into that, and like how like his album Ready Steady Go definitely had that, considering his producer was Brian Setzer, who Brian Setzer was from the Stray Cats, and it's actually from Long Island. But yeah, he's from Long Island, so that's cool. Like we got him from Long Island, Billy Joel, of course. But anyway, no, so from yeah, he was in, yeah, so yeah, Brian Setzer was in the Stray Cats, and the Stray Cats were big in the 80s doing songs that were more like kind of like 50s style. Like they had like Rock This Town. I think there was like a few others. But yeah, like so a lot of like Drake Bell's stuff on that album was like mostly like covers from songs, like a lot of songs I really didn't even know that much. I mean, there was some great there were some songs that were, from legendary artists like Queen's Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Billy Joel's It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, and also what's the other one? Oh yeah, he did a song from the Kinks called "Sunny Afternoon," and that opened the album, which I think was a great opener. And then he had a song that was called "Bitchcraft," which was in 2014. He did that. Like yeah, that was like a recorded version he did, and no, it was pretty good. I thought I thought it's a good album, so I want to talk about that and start that off and talking about his music. And yeah, I think it worked out well. And then I did some stuff about the Beatles. I talked about John Lennon's solo album, his last like solo album before he took like a 5-year hiatus, which was the Rock and Roll album where he did songs from the 50s and even early 60s. So it was really like yeah. And then I did some Beatles reviews and all that. And then I basically yeah, that's basically what I did last year. I did like one vlog and all that, but like music is what I kind of want to mainly focus on about my channel, but I can go into other things that I want to talk about as well, But like in order to keep some consistency, I think just like talk about the music, like, and I think it's great to do a channel about like certain music, like 60s and 70s, to bring it to younger audiences. I think in some ways because like, or just like some other people who like in my generation like might not be into that stuff and just see another world of it and going more into and discovering like this music and all that. And I'm not going to focus just on that. I can focus on newer stuff as well because there are some new artists I like. I'm not a huge fan of the new music now. Like if you ask me, like I don't know that many of the new artists. When I hear like somebody mention something, that I have to look it up. I mean I know a lot of people like Post Malone. I think Lana Del Rey. I know they're pretty big at the moment. I mean, Cardi B. I mean, of course, that goes without saying. But yeah. No. So yeah, that what you call it? Yeah, like I mean, I liked some art. Like another artist I really liked, Bruno Mars. He's great, and even though he hasn't really done anything like recently, I have heard. I mean, I have heard that he is possibly going to be that he was supposed to release an album soon because I think one of people in his PR team, I think put that out that he's going to make some new music, and it'd be great because it's been about almost like 5 years since his last album. And yeah, and Ed Sheeran's still around. He's really good. I mean, yeah, like because I feel like those like people definitely are new artists that are bringing new styles in the generation, but like taking stuff from their influences. Like, like when you think of Bruno Mars, you think of maybe like somebody like Michael Jackson or Prince with some of his style, and maybe with Ed Sheeran, you can think of maybe somebody as like maybe as an Elton John type guy, or even like a Billy Joel type. Like the singer songwriter era stuff like that. Like the Bob Dylans, like the Elton John, the Billy Joel, the Neil Youngs, the Van Morrisons. Yeah, I can go on and on. Like and all that stuff. But yeah. No, that's basically with that. Yeah, I mean, music wise, recently what I've been listening to is basically just because like I've been working out basically like every day of the week. Basically, I try as much as I can. I started really getting into able to work out more about a year ago when I did this class and yeah, like this class in Suffolk, and I got more into like because I worked out before, but like I would always go on and off. But this got me to go back to more and I of doing it, and I decided that like it'd probably good to bring up running again. And honestly, like when I started running again, like which was last year, it's been like 5 years since I really like ran because I did track in like ninth and 10th grade, but yeah, well even in eighth grade, but I stopped it like in like 10th grade because I just like was not having fun with it anymore. I'm kind of getting bored of it, so I just stopped it really. But so yeah, but I came back with it, and but my only secret was really able to run really is that like I gotta like I gotta do it with music. I can't do it without music. So I will pull up my playlist and share you some songs I've listened to. I have over like okay 668 songs on there now. So I started this playlist about a year ago. I hope on Amazon Music it doesn't get to the point where there's so much space where I have to delete it because this is actually a good collection of songs. It's like it's a totally mix of songs. It's just like at first I titled it workout music, but then I just titled it like basic songs I enjoy from various artists, and that's what I did. And I have like a mix of stuff, and I'm like, and when I mean a mix, I have like stuff from like this decade to stuff from like the 50s, like I have it all over the place, and even from some obscure artists. So like yeah, I mean of course I got Buddy Holly, Beatles, Billy Joel, Elton John, the Police. I got them. I got Eric Clapton, Cream, the band, Crosby, Stills and Nash. But songs lately I've been listening to a lot, like when I've been working out, I guess have been stuff from like a good song that I run to in the beginning is an obscure Elton John song from his album "Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player." And it's called "Midnight Creeper." And then then I play another song of his called which is also from that same album called "Teenage Idol." And I mean, Elton John's lyric. Well, the thing I like about it is because Elton John didn't write his lyrics; he just wrote his music. His lyricist was Bernie Taupin, and Bernie Taupin writes like really like interesting type of stories in it and references. Like in the beginning of Midnight Creeper, he goes into like walk a mile in my tennis shoes. Tina Turner gave me the highway blues. So mentioned in certain artists and stuff like that. And Teenage Idol is a funny song because it's like of like just wanting to be successful, and like whenever I think of that, I think of because there's that Ricky Nelson song called like Teenage Idol as well. And so yeah, but yeah, like that's like some stuff I listen to when I run. I've listened to like other stuff too, like for instance, another song that it's funny because like even though it's past Christmas now, I got back to listen to like Bruce Springsteen's Christmas song "Santa Claus is Coming to Town," and which was actually I found out recorded in '75 at CW Post, which is now LIU Post, and I know a few people who go there, so I don't, and there might be some people in the audience that I don't know or LIU Post people, I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, no, but yeah, so yeah, he performed it in 1975, and then another song I play after is the Jackson 5 Santa Claus Coming to Town, because when I'm on a roll with some Christmas stuff, I just keep playing. I don't care. Like what I hate about like with seasonal music is that it puts a lot of pressure on the person, because if they like that song and want to keep playing it throughout the year, what's wrong with that? Because people judge me and be like, "Oh, Christmas is over." Like, why can't you still love a song? Like a song is a song, I mean, come on. But yeah, no. So like, and also another song I started listening to was because on Martin Luther King Day, there's the Stevie Wonder song "Happy Birthday," which was written for about Martin Luther King, and is actually the story of how Martin Luther King Day, how it became a holiday actually, like because Stevie Wonder really pushed for that. No, it's a great song. Another song of his is "Fun Day," which is I think from the movie Jungle Fever, which I have not seen that movie, even though I do know like some of the cast. I mean, hell, there's a few people from The Sopranos that are in it. And then other stuff. I mean, I've been on a really like Creedence Clearwater Revival and Grateful Dead kick because those are two groups I grew up with as a kid because my dad had two cassette tapes. He had one of Creedence Clearwater Revival, which was actually a compilation album called Chronicle Volume 1, which was a compilation of like Creedence's biggest hits and all that stuff. And then he had the Grateful Dead album that was a live album called Skull and Roses, but is sometimes called Grateful Dead, which Jerry Garcia actually wanted called Skull F. Skull. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, so I grew up on them as well, and even though like they're not like as like probably like I mean, no, I would say Creedence is definitely up there, and so is Grateful Dead too, but like like I mean, probably not my top five, but yeah, I mean, Creedence I've listened to like I think like every I believe I've heard like every Creedence song from an album, and basically their stuff that were even from like the bonus songs from the album. Like Creedence is one of those those groups. Like when I think of groups like that, like are kind of similar, like Creedence and Grateful Dead. They're sort of I mean, they definitely have different styles, but because they were both from like California and stuff like that, like I think a lot of people always, for some reason, whenever there's a Grateful Dead, something about the Grateful Dead or Creedence Clearwater Revival, always the other group habit that comes up or something like that in it. So it's kind of funny, like considering that my dad had two of those albums, even though there really isn't that much of a similarity in some ways. But anyway, so the funniest thing about it is that yeah, like with Creedence, for instance, like their stuff is like pretty like God, I forgot what it was. Jesus, what was it talking about? Okay, yeah, but no, basically, Creedence, I mean, like their stuff were basically, I mean, like you had John Fogerty as the main songwriter, Jerry Garcia, and their lyricist was Robert Hunter, and he would write most of the lyrics for their songs and all that. And they had yeah, but like, oh, okay, like I know what we're saying, but like, yeah. So a lot of people like compare them, and then like there's like the Elton John and Billy Joel that sometimes like people would compare and all that. So like that's kind of how I I sometimes like label them. Like when I think of like an artist, like when I think of Creedence, I think of Grateful Dead. So I want to listen. If I'm going to listen to Creedence, I'll try to listen to Grateful Dead. And if I want to be in a genre, I'll probably listen to Billy Joe. I feel like you can't listen to one without the other. I feel like in some ways with me, that's kind of how I see it as. And but yeah. All right, let's see what time it is. It's 3:47. I've been going on for 41 minutes, and I think you're probably gonna want to stop seeing so much babbling. Okay, do we have as many people in the comments? Because I mean, we have like 2 people, and I know there's like 6 people watching. Thank you for all the people that were watching, and people that liked it. I'm going to try to do this stream again next weekend. I don't know if it'll be Sunday or Saturday yet. I will let you know. Oh yeah, and that reminds me too, like because yesterday I was on a podcast with my friend Anthony, who is YouTube name is DJ Mega Aim 17. I believe I'm saying that right. Anthony, you can punish me if I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, we had a video yesterday with a boy band that have sort of popularity. Yeah, and no, they were on. They're called White Boys with Swag, and yeah, I know. Don't even ask. Almost time to shovel some dumb snow. Doesn't that suck? Yeah, I know. No, it sucks because it's like I said, I haven't been out all week, and my car was already snowed in the driveway, so I'm gonna have to. If I need to go out, I'm gonna have to shovel a little bit of that stuff because there's like so much ice that it probably like near the tires of my car. But yeah. But anyway, no. So yeah. So I've been on Anthony's podcast, and he's like called Always Late to Everything, and we do that usually like on Sundays on the weekends. And yeah, like on Sunday nights. And yesterday was different because that was the time the group was able to make it. But yeah, no. He also has another podcast called Chronically Chill. It's funny, like we didn't notice, but like we were recording our streams around the same time. So, but yeah, definitely support his channel as well. I'll put his yeah, like let me put his link in the channel so you in the chat so you guys can go to him. Yeah, like he's got podcast about his yeah, like about his what do you call it, like condition called cystic fibrosis, which you know is a lung disease, and yeah, so he has a video like talking about that, which it's really yeah, it's really an interesting thing of like when you hear him talk about what he has to go through with it, and it's an interesting channel, and I would definitely check it out. So definitely support him if you can. That would be great. And so yeah, so that's pretty much it. I will do the stream again. I'm gonna try to keep it up for as long as I can because, if you're having fun doing it, I think why not stop? I mean, like yeah, that's kind of how I feel. So all right, I'll talk to you guys later. You know, and all of that. All right, see you guys. All right, bye. All right, let's end. And we are ending. Yep.